So, the three brothers Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei had just rushed over from Yingquan, wanting to see how the battle was going. Turns out, the fight was long over. The sky was lit by flames, and the battle cries had faded to echoes. It turned out that Huang Fusong and Zhu Jun had already succeeded with their fire attack. And the Yellow Turban army had been utterly routed after the three found Huang Fusong. Zuandi Liu Bei casually mentioned he was there to help Lu Zi and asked about the situation. Huang Fusong heard this and said, Zhang Ju and his brothers are on their last legs now, they'll definitely head to Guangzhong to join Zhang Ju. You should hurry and make another trip to support Lu Zi, Liu Bei said, consider it done. And immediately turned his forces around, chasing towards Guangzhong. Halfway there, they saw a group of government soldiers escorting a large prison cart, with a person confined inside. Liu Bei took a closer look, and his heart sank. Wasn't this his own teacher, Lu Zi? Liu Bei was so startled he practically leaped off his horse, not even bothering to tether it, and rushed over. Teacher, how did you end up being escorted away like this? Lu Zi sighed and said, I had finally managed to surround Zhang Ju completely and was on the verge of victory. But then the court sent an inspector, a eunuch named Zuo Feng from the Yellow Gates. He actually demanded a bribe from me. I told him straight, we don't even have enough provisions for the army. How could we possibly have money to grease your palms? As a result, he harbored resentment. When he returned to the capital, he falsely reported to the emperor that I was building high ramparts and refusing to engage the enemy, and that I was demoralizing the troops. The emperor believed him immediately, dispatched Dong Zhuo to take over my command, and ordered me to be escorted back to the capital for questioning. When Zhang Fei heard this, he flew into a rage, his anger flaring. He roared, that damn Yellow Gates eunuch. I'll cut down these escorting soldiers right now and rescue our teacher. Liu Bei quickly stopped him, calmly saying, Zhang Fei, don't act rashly. This is a matter for the imperial court. They have their own way of handling things. We cannot rebel. Although Zhang Fei was unwilling, he listened. They could only watch helplessly as the soldiers escorted Lu Zi away. This episode, in fact, was a crucial political shock education in Liu Bei's life. You see, he witnessed it with his own eyes. His respected teacher was fighting desperately on the front lines, only to be arrested on trumped-up charges because he refused to bribe a eunuch. This made Liu Bei see even more clearly, this imperial court, while still called the Han Dynasty on the surface, was in reality a rotten, terminally ill machine controlled by a cabal of eunuchs and powerful officials. This is also why he always held on to the conviction of restoring the Han Dynasty thereafter. He wasn't simply aiming to become emperor. His heart genuinely couldn't let go of his devotion to the ideal of a righteous court. Meanwhile, Guan Yu, watching Lu Zi being taken away, thought, our teacher has been arrested. If we continue fighting now, there's no one to lead us, and we have no backing. We might as well return to Zhuo Commandery for now. Liu Bei heard this and agreed it made sense, so he led Guan Yu and Zhang Fei northwards, back home. After traveling for just 2 days, they suddenly heard heaven-shaking battle cries from beyond the mountains, an astonishing commotion. The three brothers immediately spurred their horses up the mountain to take a look. Behind the mountain, dust billowed, and the Han forces were in a complete rout. The entire landscape was swarming with yellow turban soldiers, and their banners bore for large characters, General of Heaven. This was Zhang Ju himself. Liu Bei said, it's Zhang Ju. We cannot not fight this battle. With that, the three of them immediately led their troops charging down in a surprise attack. Zhang Ju had been in hot pursuit of Dong Zhuo and hadn't expected such a fierce group of warriors to suddenly appear. His forces were thrown into instant chaos, utterly routed, and forced to retreat more than 50 li. In this battle, the three brothers saved Dong Zhuo. After returning to the encampment, Dong Zhuo asked, which unit's officers are you? What are your positions? Liu Bei answered honestly, we are commoners, holding no official rank. We are merely doing our best for the country. Dong Zhuo heard this, and his expression didn't change one bit. He coldly remarked, oh, completely disregarding the three brothers, without even a polite word. Liu Bei managed to keep his composure and said nothing, but Zhang Fei wasn't the type to swallow his anger. His temper flared, and he roared, we risked our lives to save you, you good for nothing, and you treat us with such disdain. If I don't slaughter you, I, Zhang Fei, can't stomach this insult. Saying this, he was about to draw his sword and charge into the tent to kill Dong Zhuo. But Liu Bei hurriedly stopped him. Here, the author also inserts a poem. lamenting the coldness and warmth of human relationships. Snobbery and self-interest, ancient and modern alike, who recognizes a hero when he's but a common man. If only there were more daring souls like Yi Zhangfei to punish all the ungrateful hypocrites in this world. In plain language, it means, this thing called snobbery has existed since ancient times. A true hero with no rank or office gets ignored. If everyone were as bold as Zhang Fei, how many deceitful villains in this world would have been dealt with long ago? The point of this passage isn't just the battle. More importantly, it's the first time the three brothers experience the harsh reality that, if you have no background or connections, no one will appreciate you, even if you save them, and Dongzhuo's character also begins to emerge. This man is extremely snobbish, and the kind of villain he will later become is precisely foreshadowed by such details. So Liu Bei and his brothers saved Dongzhuo's life. But the fellow showed no gratitude at all, acting incredibly arrogant. Zhang Fei saw this and his anger boiled. We risked our lives charging in to save him. And he looks down on us like we're nobodies? If I don't kill him, I can't swallow this. Liu Bei quickly grabbed him, saying, he's an official appointed by the imperial court. We can't just kill him as we please. And no matter how upset you are, there must be some restraint. Zhang Fei was still fuming. Fine, don't kill him. But I don't want to fight for someone like this. I'm leaving. Liu Bei patted his shoulder and said, we three became sworn brothers in the peach garden, vowing to share life and death. How can we separate? If you really don't want to stay, then all three of us will leave together. Only then did Zhang Fei stop arguing. So they turned and went to find Zhu Jun. This man knew how to treat people. Seeing the three brothers arrive, he immediately treated them as honored guests. The three saw this and thought, now this is more like it. Only when people respect you are you willing to risk your life for them. Then Zhu Jun dispatched Liu Bei as the vanguard to attack Zhang Bao. Zhang Bao's side sent a deputy general named Gao Sheng to challenge them. As soon as Zhang Fei made his move, he finished the man off in a few rounds. Spearing him directly from his horse, Liu Bei immediately gave the order, and the main army surged forward, ready to reap the rewards of battle. Unexpectedly, this Zhang Bao fellow practiced sorcery. Seeing Liu Bei and his men charge, he, with his hair disheveled, sat on his horse chanting incantations. This conjured wind and thunder, plunging the world into darkness. A black mist descended from the sky, filled with shadowy, ghostly figures, as if the gates of hell had opened. Liu Bei saw things were going wrong and immediately called for a retreat. The army was also terrified and fell into disarray, so they had to pull back and consult with Zhu Jun. Zhu Jun was unperturbed. That kind of sorcery fears filth, he said. Tomorrow, let's slaughter some pigs, sheep, and dogs. We'll fill buckets with their blood and offal, lie in ambush on the hilltop. And when he tries his magic again, we'll douse him with it. Let's see how he performs his tricks then. Liu Bei said, that's an excellent idea. The next day, Zhang Bao indeed came again. As the drums beat, the wind rose, the thunder crashed, and the black mist appeared, just like before. Liu Bei, as planned, feigned fear and retreated. Zhang Bao, seeing this, was delighted and pursued them vigorously. Just as his army charged past the hilltop, bang, 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 3 cannon shots rang out. Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, each leading a detachment, rushed out from the left and right. And the air was filled with pig's blood, dog's blood, and all sorts of foul things being hurled at the demonic aura. And guess what? Those ghostly soldiers descending from the sky were actually made of paper. Once doused, they fell all over the ground. The wind stopped, the thunder ceased. It was all just a Taoist trick, an illusion. Zhang Bao was dumbstruck. Just as he was about to flee, Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, one on each side, blocked his escape routes. Liu Bei and Zhu Jun pressed from behind, forming an iron-tight encirclement. And they thrashed Zhang Bao until he was utterly defeated. Liu Bei saw the words General of Earth on Zhang Bao's banner, knew it was him, and immediately spurred his horse in pursuit, shooting Zhang Bao in the left arm with an arrow. Zhang Bao, dragging the arrow, fled into the city of Yangcheng and defended it desperately. Zhu Jun pressed his advantage and began to besiege the city. At the same time, he sent men to inquire about the situation on Huang Fusong's front. When the scouts returned, the news was astounding. Zhang Ju was already dead. Zhang Liang had also been defeated and killed by the combined forces of Cao Cao and Huang Fusong. Zhang Ju's corpse had been exhumed, and his head was publicly displayed as a warning. The remaining Yellow Turban forces had all surrendered. There was also an outcome regarding Lu Zi. The court had investigated and found him innocent, so his official position was restored. Cao Cao, for his brilliant fighting, was appointed Chancellor of Jinan. With this news, Zhu Jun's morale soared, and he intensified the attack on Yang Cheng. As it turned out, Zhang Bao's side couldn't hold out either. Internal problems arose, and one of his deputy generals, a man named Yan Zheng, directly assassinated him. Cut off his head and surrendered to Zhu Jun, saying, "We submit. We beg for our lives." With that, the Yellow Turban uprising was basically considered thoroughly quelled. Zhu Jun also quickly wrote a battle report and sent it back to the capital to claim credit for his achievements.